Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to you all. Welcome to the Ophir podcast. This is me, Firestarter, and we are going to have a banger for you guys this evening. As in, talagang na-excite ako about this providential stream that we're going to have tonight. In fact, it's very interesting. Every time we talk about this topic, for whatever reason, there's so many technical glitches that we come across. So I can't help but think that there are forces that may be trying to undermine what's going on here. Because seriously, this happened the last time we tried to talk about the land of Ophir, and both the second and the first time. But this is part 3 now that we're going to be talking about whether or not the Philippines is Ophir, and we have a very special guest with us, and I am extremely excited to have him on board, and I'm extremely delighted that he accepted our invitation to come on board. But before we get started, let me introduce our other hosts. Wait, are they in yet? No, they're not in yet. Okay, so maybe we'll just have to start off with our main guest, and the rest of the gang will follow very soon. So, as I was saying, very very excited about this evening's podcast. So let me kick things off by reading the bio of our guest. So Dr. Richard Vincent Narag, MD, PhD, and DHUM, is a trailblazing Filipino physician, theologian, and author with over 70 critically acclaimed works to his name. He's known for blending science, spirituality, and compelling storytelling. From founding the world's first Ophirian church to pioneering medical and educational initiatives for underserved communities, Dr. Narag is a passionate advocate for holistic care and social impact. His expertise spans medicine, theology, and even thriller writing, making him a truly multidimensional guest. So, without further ado, let me welcome on board Dr. Richard Vincent Narag.
Hallelujah!
Dr. Rich, so good to
Hallelujah!
have you. Hallelujah, indeed. Thank you so much for accepting our invite to come on board the podcast.
Yes, I'm really blessed, and I want to greet all a blessed Shabbat and a blessed Thanksgiving also to the United States of America. Sa mga
That's
kababayan ko sa
right.
Pilipinas, isang malaking pasasalamat po na ito po ay isang Shabbat. This is the very Shabbat that we have right now. Remember that Shabbat is not Saturday. It is the 7th, the 14th, the 21st, and the 29th day after the full moon. It's written in Exodus 16 verses 1 to 23. Right now, we are blessed because the Philippines is confirmed the biblical Ophir.
Boom. I love the way that you say that with such conviction. And why wouldn't you have such conviction given that you've seriously gone deeper into the subject than anyone else that I know? In fact, I'm very interested to, at one point, have Dr. Judd Burton here as well, because he's someone else who has started to look into this. I was the first one to mention it to him. This was about maybe a year and a half or 2 years ago. And ever since he heard about it, so he's from Texas. He's an anthropologist and archaeologist, and he was just fascinated by this subject. But I must say that out of everybody who I've listened to, it seems that you've done the most work on this subject. And so obviously you would have that kind of
Amen.
confidence. So we're really, really excited to share what you know and glean from the depths of your knowledge on this subject, Dr. Rich.
Yes. By the way, I would like to thank you again, Brother John, the crypto Ophir people, and all those who are here right now, the
Amen.
Filipinos, and all the Ophirians. The world originated from Ophir.
Wow,
Yes.
that is so amazing to hear. And so we chose the right name for the crypto, right?
Yes. The best crypto ever. Crypto Ophir.
All right. Let me just get into the chat really quick and just say hi to a couple of people. So, what is up? Docky25, um, Pa Y Ak, Shalom, Shalom, Richard Celis Falsis, Pastora Zenny, Pastora Maricar, Beth Aquino, kumusta? Jome Gutierrez. And I know that a lot of people have been waiting for this, so we'll surely have a very engaging chat this evening. But, I wanted to kick us off, Dr. Rich, by asking you if you could categorize the different proofs for Ophir's actually being the Philippines, like taking a bird's eye view. Like, what would the different types of proof be? So, I mean, I'm assuming like you would have obviously the documentary proof, you would have, um, the languages. So yeah, like, how would you categorize like the different types of proof?
Regarding the different types do you mean fruit?
No,
Proofs.
proofs,
Proofs.
evidences. Yes,
Okay. So actually, when you say proof, it means you need an evidence, right?
yes.
So an evidence should be based not only from hearsay, but it's actually should be historical, recorded, based from archaeology, and based from the historical evidence that's been written by a lot of people. To categorize it, there is what we call the first-hand proof, the second, and the hearsay proof. The first-hand
Mm,
proof is based from the Bible itself, its
I like that.
etymological studies, the hermeneutical analysis, and also we have the spiritual guidance. The second
Mm,
is that the secondary category will be based from its support, like the history, the archaeological evidence, and
mm,
lastly we have the hearsay.
mm,
What can you find these people are saying about this? But it's not considered a proof, but we can consider that as a source that we can
mm.
use. So it's gonna be the primary, secondary, and the tertiary proofs.
Okay, wonderful. And sorry, I've lost the number. Just blew my mind, so I need to bring this up because you mentioned this in the green room when we were talking. But you've written how many books?
Actually, I have written a lot of more than a thousands of books, but only there are
My
only few
gosh.
that's being published right now. Amazon is releasing that every week. My books are gonna be released every week from the Amazon. Uh, it's gonna be one book every week, and hopefully they were gonna
Wow.
reach that all.
Wow. And most of these books circle around the subject of Ophir.
uh, Based from the research, they told me that my book's not only from the Ophir, but because they knew me as a writer, when they saw it, they found out that my books is all about medicine. Only few from Ophir because I have only 177 books
Oh.
from Ophir. I have
Only.
a lot for music. I have a lot for linguist, and that's all.
Wow, that is amazing. That is amazing. And so, only 127
Oh,
for
77
Ophir.
for Ophir. Yeah, this one is the first book. The Philippines Biblical Ophir Book One or Part One. But I have a lot more books regarding. It's gonna be that link to this one. It's gonna be 177. I also wrote about novels. The Rizal Code. It's been a bestseller
Mm,
in the Philippines since, and it's also in the Amazon right now. I've been writing also about the scientific evidence of God's existence and power. It's a lot of thousands of, gonna be hundreds of volumes rather. You can ask me from the connection of science and the support of science to the Bible. Example, we have a time travel in the Bible. What
mm-hmm,
can you say about the Big Bang Theory, the law of biogenesis, anything
mm-hmm.
about science that is being connected to the Bible? I already released the first book in Amazon.
Wow, that is really, really exciting. Well,
Yes.
I've just been told by Gab, who helps us out in the back room, that we have uh, our other host in the house now. So let me bring on board somebody with your namesake, Doc Vince Vicente, in the house. Let's bring him in. All right, Doc Vince, kumusta? Doc, you there? Nakakaano, ako na lang ang hindi doktor dito. Anyway, Dr. Rich. So as you were saying, I think maybe Doc Vince is still trying to work on his setup. So uh, I listened to some of your presentations, and I've been really struck by a number of things. But one of the things that really got my attention was when you started talking about the languages, when you started talking about baybayin, and more specifically, the how do you pronounce it? The
Mostropidon
Bostrophodon
evolution. Yes.
evolution. Yes, the
Yes.
Bostrophodon evolution. That's right. Can you tell our viewers a little bit more about that and how it plays into how Ophir is? So essentially, would your argument is that Ophir is not only the Philippines, but is also where the land of the Garden of Eden was. Am I right?
Yes. Yes. Actually, regarding the Baybayin, this is the alphabets or the letters or the inscriptions used by Adam and Eve. Specifically, their grandson Enoch.
Mm.
So the letters of the Baybayin come from the face of waters, as written in Job 26:10. If you will see the Google Earth, you will find there the face, and the 22 letters of the Hebrew came from the Baybayin.
Wow,
So
that is a
yes,
very strong claim to make,
it's
and
been
that's
supported by authors like James Pearson that the 22 letters of Baybayin, the five came from the Egyptian hieroglyphics, but the 17 came from the original letters known as the Scholastic scripts that came from the Cadmonites or Kidem or the eastern border territory of Shem's territory. So, if you will study the eastern borders of Shem's territory, the eastern border, the easternmost part is known as the country of Ophir. Even if you study
wow.
Genesis 10:30, Ophir, who is the son of Yoktan, he was given the opportunity to live in this place known as the Oath, known before as the APR or the Ophir. So those letters, Cadmos, come from the Kitem or the eastern border, taught this to the 17 plastic letters to the Europeans. And it was Japhet and Shem brought these 17 plastic letters from Ophir. So The 17 plastic letters is also the 17 Baybayin letters of the Philippines. And if you
Wow.
will study, the 17 letters of the Baybayin came from the drawing of the face. We have example the resh. When you say resh or ra in Baybayin, they are the same. The problem is that in the Philippines, because of the talosocratic evolution of letters, they add these vowels. Before there's no vowels, no, they just add the nicod or the dots below. There's only two countries that use the nicod. It's the Philippines and the Hebrew. And you know that the D and R, only two countries that having this D and R allophones of Hebrew. It's only found in the Philippines and Hebrew. Example, we have the word madami o marami. We have marangal o dangal. Or we have this DNR allophones.
Mm.
It's also found in Hebrew. The the only thing that happens is that because of the trouble or because of the flood, Noah from Ophir. Take note, Noah is from Ophir. These 17 plastic letters was brought from Ophir going through the Nachichiban Armenia or the Mount Ararat or the Mount Lobar. And from there, the 17 plastic letters grew up and it becomes known as the Paleo Hebrew. And the addition of 5 letters coming from Egypt, it becomes 22. So according to James Pearson, the 17 plastic letters came from the eastern border of the Shem's territory or Noah's place before, which was specifically the place of known as the Ophir.
Wow, that is powerful stuff. And is it part of the I can't pronounce it. Bostrophodon
Bostropidon. When you say
evolution?
Bostropidon, the letters are just flipping. You know, the
Mm,
A, actually the letter A is like that. Actually, it came from the flipping of, it's when you try to flip it, it becomes like a letter. You can try to turn it. It becomes, when you turn it upside down, it's gonna be like that. But if you're gonna
mm,
turn it to the side, it's gonna be like A with like that, and it's known as the Aleph or the Hebrew first letter or the Greek,
mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm.
known as the Alpha.
Hmm. Yeah, I saw your presentation on that, and I saw you actually like because for everybody that is listening in, when you actually see it, it really makes a difference. So unfortunately, we don't have a presentation right now where you can actually see this, but I can. We will post more of Dr. Rich's work on our website, and that particular presentation we'll probably post it with your permission, Dr. Rich, and there you can actually see the flipping of the letters and how from the basically the similarities between the Hebrew and the Baybayin when you flip the I don't know if it's the Baybayin that it's the Baybayin that you flip, right? And then you remove the vowel,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
You flip it and then remove the vowel and then yeah, it's almost a perfect fit, which is really really amazing. And so, Doc Vince, is your mic working? Are you all good?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome.
Doc
I
Rich,
was
can
able,
you hear Doc
finally, I was
Vince?
able to fix.
It's very soft. It's really soft.
Very soft.
Yes,
Are
yes.
you
Oh, okay. I'll try to make it louder. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's better.
All right. Well, I'm lost of words. I'll just be listening to you guys. This is a good discussion, Dr. Rich. Thank you for this, and it's an honor to have you here. Just go ahead. I'll ask later on.
okay? Sounds good. So the other thing, is it part of the Bostrophodon evolution that so part of the reasons that we can say that Baybayin is the oldest language is because of the number of characters that
Yes,
you
yes,
have
yes. The lesser
essentially.
the number is the most original.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
that made sense to me as well. Yeah, that really made
yes,
sense to me. And nakakaaliw kasi you have all of these people who are really very passionate about baybayin, and to hear that there is so much more to it actually than just having people tattooing their names and stuff like that on themselves in Baybayin. But to find out that there's such a rich history to this is just really, really amazing. It's really mind-boggling. Now
Yeah,
here's a
honestly, I have more than 77 books regarding Baybayin. I already
wow.
released the first book known as the Baybayin Decoded Book 1.
Wow. Well, I look forward to reading those books and studying them very seriously. Out of curiosity, how much interaction have you had with the God Culture channel? Because they they put together a lot of evidence as well, and a lot of it sounds very similar to your work. So, has there been a lot of interaction between you and I think his name is Timothy Schwab from the God Culture, or you just know that they've consumed some of your work and are fans essentially?
Honestly, I never encountered them, but I sometimes watch on their YouTube videos. It's very
Mm,
great, and I really love them because they are also talking about Ophir and promoting that the Philippines is the biblical Ophir. I
yeah.
remember that was year 1998, and rather na 2008 when I released the book about Ophir. My book is known as The Rizal Code La Pluma de Sangere. You can check that on Amazon also. It's free for read, free to read. The whole word is free to read all my books.
Wow, that's
Yes.
amazing. It's amazing that you would do that and that you would make this knowledge accessible to people, which is really what we need. I mean, this is something that hardly anybody has heard of. It's not taught in schools, and this brings me to the next subject, which is why was this hidden? It seems like there's been a deliberate effort to hide this information.
Yeah, so that was a very nice question. Why it's being hidden? There are three best questions, but I will leave the last answer for that. So, why it is hidden? What is the second is what is the significance of this? And the third is gonna be I leave it that. Also, the answer is also three. I will also leave the third. First answer is that because Ophir is the richest country in the whole world. Not only the gold mines, but also there are a lot of endemic plants and also endemic trees that can be only found in this place that are very expensive. Napakamahal nito, no? Napakamahal. Example of that is the endemic in the Philippines is the agar wood, the Aquilaria malacensis and Aquilaria crasna. These one are the very expensive wood in the whole world, and they're endemic in the Philippines. Meaning to say, they are found in the here. They originated here in the Philippines. That they are being brought to the different countries. Example, they are brought to Malaysia, Indonesia, something like that. So because of its richness, those conquerors that they need to go here, they need to hide because they don't want others to have it. According to some historians, one of those countries who made to hide this is the Spanish. They want to change its name because this country is very rich. So the another answer is that not only it's because it's being rich. It's the second answer is because this is historically significant. This place is known as the origin of humanity. What will
Wow.
happen if somebody will know that this place is the origin of humanity? It will boost up its ecotourism value, and a lot of people will go here because the place is the origin of Adam and Eve. The evidence for that is in Genesis 2:7. It says there that Adam was taken from the grounds of the dust of APR. If you will have these Hebrew hermeneutical studies, the word APR is most translated as a dust. One of those theologian who is a pioneer of this that it is not dust. They are talking about the land of gold. Adam was taken from the APR, meaning APR is the land of gold. APR is Aleph,
Wow.
Pe, and Resh, and they are talking about the land in the eastern border. So if you will have this, this theologian, his name is Dr. Nisim Asmalag. Dr. Nisim Asmalag thought that they tried to mistranslate the word uh, appear instead of Ophir because of its historical value. Was Adam was taken from the grounds of Ophir, not Eper, meaning Eper is dust.
Oh
And if
my
you will try
God.
to read the study of the Genesis 3:7, if you are acquainted to Hebrew like me, I studied Hebrew Bible in a Hebrew hermeneutical evidence. Adam, when he put the leaves as a covering, it's written there in Hebrew as igorot, igorot.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
igorot, the covering known as igorot. And only in the Philippines we have this covering known as bahagare, or the bahagare is also a Hebrew word meaning igorot or covering. So that's why the two big reason is that because of its richness, and the second is historical value, and the third is it's soon I will tell it personally.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure. So I was also quite amazed when you basically mentioned the number, the number of documents that you said you have access to. So maybe you can share a little bit about that and some of the examples of those documents that actually state very plainly that the Philippines is Ophir.
Yes, yes. So before that, I would like to promote my book, The Philippines Biblical Ophir, Part One. This is only a Part One. If you want to have those historical documents, gonna be part two. The three books for the historical evidence. It's gonna be the people who know that the Philippines is of here, the documentary evidence, and those historical evidences. Example, that is
Mm,
in the book, book two. Gonna be three books in the book two. But to go with the, you need to first analyze the Bible. What's the biblical evidence? How come that the Philippines is the biblical Ophir? I just want to give some examples that the Philippines is the biblical Ophir based from what we call history. There are a lot of historians knew that the Philippines is Ophir. Example, we have the very popular Magellan. They thought that
mm.
Magellan doesn't know Ophir. Actually, it's being planned to go to the known as Ophir. They call this place known as Ophir. Only in the time of Villalobos, that was 1559, they changed the name from Ophir, the Samar, the place, the island of Samar. They tried to change it to Pilipena. And they added later, it become Pilipinas. It was the time of Villalobos. Even Villalobos know that the whole archipelago is Ophir. We have also Barbosa in the Diary of Barbosa, and there's a book known as Libro de Barbosa. He claimed that the Philippines, the old name of the Philippines, which they call before not as Philippines, San Lazaro, they name it San Lazaro. Uh, they knew it that the name of that whole archipelago, the Lekian or the Lekios archipelago, is Ophir. We have a lot of documents. I have, as I told you, there are more than 2,500 documents. We have the Lalago Espanyol, the
Wow.
documentos recusates, the royal, what do you call this, the cedula of Sebastian Coboto. They knew that the Philippines, the old name of this island or the archipelago is Ophir. We have also the papal bull bulletin. Even Pope Alexander VI knew that the place Ophir. But there are also writers. We have also uh, Josephus Flavius talk about this Ophir located in the eastern border of West India. We have Abraham Ortelius that he located Ophir in the
Wow.
south, in his Sacra book, he located Ophir in the South Africa. And we have Samuel Purkas, he also claimed that the Philippines is the ancient Ophir. So there are a lot of them. So these documents, not only the Documentus Relativus Islas Filipinas, the document number 98, is overused. I have a
Mm.
lot of more than documents proving that the Philippines is the biblical over. We have Antonio Galvano, Juan Medina, and Padre Chirino, even
Wow.
that. There are a lot of them.
Wow. Wow. That is absolutely amazing. And again, I go back to this whole idea of like there's apparently so much evidence, and yet there's clearly been a deliberate attempt to hide all of this. And it's been a very, very successful attempt. And you
Yeah.
mentioned
John,
even that there was apparently, was it a papal bull or something along those
Yes,
lines,
John,
that where basically they intended
hide.
really to hide
Yes,
Ophir. And
yes.
yeah, that blew my mind when I heard you share that. That is, wait, guys, by the way, please tag away. This is an absolutely fascinating topic, and we're really blessed to have Dr. Rich Vince Narag here with us tonight. So share this, tag your friends, tag as many people as you can, share this with as many people as you can, because I believe you'll really be blessed by this. I have been blessed by this journey. And as Ophirians, as we've come into this from a crypto angle, but at the same time, Ophir was really instrumental. The name itself, the it's symbolizing abundance, and it's symbolizing our wanting to dedicate this entire project, this cryptocurrency project, to the Lord. I mean, the name was just very, very fitting, and to find out more and more as we looked into it that there is so much evidence that the Philippines really is the land of Ophir. It's just absolutely astonishing. So do share, do make sure that you get the word out about this, and let's definitely, all of Dr. Rich's work is he's making it available for free. So how can you not make the most out of that? I know that I will, although I would really like to purchase hard copies, because I'm when it comes to like really digging down and studying, and that it helps for me to have something physical in front of me. So Dr. Rich, I'll actually be purchasing hard copies of these books if possible, because this has really been a blessing to me, this journey. And Yeah, I hope as many people as possible get to hear about this. It was very interesting. I don't know if you were aware of a congressman who recently spoke at Congress, sharing about the potential of changing the name of the country back to Ophir. See, Dan Fernandez. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I thought that was, and then he mentioned quite a number of things along with those evidences. He mentioned I think it was Pigafetta's journal.
Yes, the Antonio Pigapetta, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So that was one of the first times that I had heard, or that this kind of information was really spoken of, like in a public platform that way. And
Honestly, Antonio Pigapetta did not wrote about Ophir.
he what? Sorry.
He did not wrote about Ophir, Antonio Pigapetta.
Really?
What I'm trying to say that the historian of Magellan, Antonio Pigafetta, did not write about Ophir. He did not mention about Ophir. But Barbosa, in El Libro Barbosa, and also the documents about the Fernão Magellan, they are talking about Ophir. And it's in my second book. It's not going to be in my third book about this part three of this Philippines, the Biblical Ophir. Hello?
Yeah. Okay. So now we're having some issues with our sound right now, guys. I don't think this is the problem that we had earlier on when we were coming in. Dr. Rich couldn't hear me, and we had to find a way around. and now my phone has died, and so he's unable to hear me right now. So if you guys wouldn't mind giving us a second while we sort out our technical issues. Um, YouTube link. Yeah. Okay. So while we wait for Dr. Rich to be able to hear me again, because right now he's unable to hear me, um, I just want to, continue to encourage all of you guys. Like, there is so much information, really. I mean, I think it was a 2-hour presentation by Dr. Rich, and it was just
Uh,
filled with
I need
so
sounds.
much information. Um, Hold on, just a second. Let me just write Dr. Rich because he's unable to hear me right now. Um,
Yeah, yeah, I can hear it right now.
okay, you can hear. Okay, wonderful.
Oh,
Yeah, you can hear me again. You were able to sort it out. See, it's really amazing that this happens every single time that we talk about Ophir.
hello.
So
Ayun, nagkaka-feedback.
yeah,
There's a feedback.
yeah. Hopefully, hopefully Dr. Rich will be able to check out the private message that I just sent him. Yeah. So guys, literally hours of content that I've come across by Dr. Rich. Really, really
Yeah.
deep stuff.
Okay.
Stuff that that had never occurred to me before, and stuff that I was very skeptical about initially.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was really quite skeptical, especially when I heard about the Philippines being the Garden of Eden. That to me was like, I had always just thought that it was the Middle East, but and that was why I thought it was called the Middle East. Including obviously Christ having been born there, and uh, so to hear these things, they came out of left field. But let's all keep an open mind here. And one thing is for sure, there is just such depth that this man has gone into, and I highly recommend that everybody do your own research, just like in crypto. Do your own research. At the end of the day, you need to know for yourself. You need to know the facts for yourself. And Dr. Rich, can you hear me now? Can you hear me, Dr. Rich? I don't think he can hear me yet. Doc Vince, are you there?
Yeah, yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, what if we'll just reset and have our audience go to our Zoom?
Well, we have 41 folks on board here right now. If Gab, Gab, if you're listening in, can you phone Dr. Rich and have him
Yeah, yes, I'm here.
check
Can you
out
hear
the
me?
YouTube stream?
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah. Um, what
I
if
think
we'll
he can
just
probably
reset
hear me
and
now.
have our audience go to our Zoom?
Well, we have 41 folks on board here right now. If Gab, Gab, if you're listening in, can you phone Dr. Rich and have him
Yeah, yes, I'm here.
check
Can
out
you
the
hear me?
YouTube stream?
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah. What if we just reset and have our audience go to our Zoom?
Well, we have 41 folks on board here right now. Wow, there's a
Gab,
really long delay,
Gab, if you're listening
unfortunately.
in, can you phone Dr. Rich and have him? Yeah, yes, I'm
Yeah,
here. Check out the YouTube stream. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
You know what we can do, Doc Vince, is we can have Dr. Rich come back on and uh have him on board one of our Zoom online fellowships where he can do an actual lengthy presentation. But let's give it a few more minutes. Let's see if we can sort this out. Uh, so, Dr. Rich, can you hear me? Hmm. Let's see if we can think this through.
Hello, I'm in.
Can you hear me? Yeah, this, you know what, guys, really, I tell you, there's like spiritual forces or something that are trying to undermine these streams. We never have these problems. It's only when we talk about Ophir that we have these problems. Yeah. Just give us a second, guys, while we try to figure out. So, Doc Vince, you're saying we can switch over to Zoom and stream it still. So this will be cut and then we continue,
Yeah,
is what you're
let's
saying?
cut this so that we would be able to have Dr. Narag, because we go into Zoom and we'll stream it still in Facebook. So those people who are currently here, they're watching. All they have to do is just come back on our page and watch on the Facebook page.
What about YouTube and Twitter? It would just be Facebook, or would we be able to get this on YouTube as well?
We cannot because we don't have a link on YouTube and Twitter. Only there, Facebook.
Wow,
And then
this is
what we're
really really
gonna do
unfortunate.
is re-upload what we had and go to our different channels. We will just re-upload it to Facebook, Facebook anyway.
Wow, even your voice, even you're coming out really choppy, though. Um, wow, this is unfortunate. Yeah, guys, we're really sorry about this. Sorry about all of the technical glitches. Like this is, we were on 30 minutes before go time trying to sort things out, and there was just so many issues. Um, we're we're actually at the what are we? We're at the 45-minute mark. I wonder whether we should just cut this short and just have Dr. Vince on Dr. Rich on next week again, and hopefully we'll have our tech sorted out by then, and he can actually do more of a presentation instead of us switching over to Zoom. Because if we switch over to Zoom right now, I'm not sure how that would work. So do us a favor, guys. Make sure you like our page, subscribe if you can, spread the word. Unfortunately, we're having major we're having a major meltdown right now as far as the tech is concerned. which is really very bizarre. But let's see if by some miracle Dr. Rich is able to log in or catch the stream on YouTube so that he can hear me stream. Can you can you hear me, Doc? Now, by any chance? No, still nothing. Wow. Yeah, guys, I think we're gonna have to cut this short, unfortunately, because it doesn't sound like we're gonna be able to continue without Dr. Rich being able to hear
Dr. Rich is
us.
able to log in, or I think we're gonna have to cut this short, unfortunately, because it doesn't sound like we're gonna be able to continue without Dr. Rich being able to hear us. Rich is able to
I'm
log
back.
in, or
Oh,
I think
can
we're
you hear
gonna have to
me?
cut this short, unfortunately, because it doesn't sound like we're gonna be able to continue without Dr. Rich being able to hear us.
I'm back.
Log in, or
Oh,
I think
can
we're
you
gonna
hear
have
me?
to cut this short, unfortunately, because it doesn't sound like we're gonna be able to continue without
Yeah,
Dr. Rich being able to hear us.
guys, we really apologize for this. This
I think
is,
we're gonna have
but
to cut this short,
believe
unfortunately.
me, we are going to come back with a vengeance.
Dr. Rich
There
is
is
able
so
to
much wealth.
log in, or Dr.
There
Rich
is
being
such
able
a
to hear
wealth of
us.
knowledge
Guys,
that this man
we really
possesses
apologize for this.
about this subject, and we
We're gonna
want
cut
to
this
stream it
short.
on the
Believe
rooftops. We
me,
want
we are
people
going
to
to come
hear.
back with a
I mean,
vengeance.
just
There is so much wealth.
all
There is so
that he
there's
has to
such a wealth
share
of
on this
knowledge that
subject.
this man possesses
I
about
know,
this
Gab.
subject, and we want to stream it
This
onto
has
the
happened
rooftops. We want people to hear.
quite a few times
I
before.
mean, just so much wealth. All that he has
So,
to share.
guys, we're really sorry about this. Unfortunately, Dr. Rich is unable to hear us. There's something that's going wrong on his end well, we're not sure if it's his on his end or on our end or what, but the point is that he's not able to hear us. Uh, we're able to hear him, but then it's just not going to be able to work that way. So, what I would like for you guys to do is stay tuned because we are definitely going to come back hard with a vengeance to talk about this subject. We are not going to give up. There is so much, seriously, that I have learned that has really blown my mind. So, hearing about uh, how Baybayin is actually potentially even older than Hebrew, and it makes sense what he was talking about, this Bostrophodon evolutionary theory, which encompasses both the shapes of the letters being very similar, and the fact that Baybayin has the least number of letters in their alphabet in the entire world, apparently, making it potentially the oldest alphabet, the oldest language out there. And so, um, yeah, Dr. Rich is saying right now that I can message the questions. Okay, okay, we can give that a try. Let's see. Okay, I'll bring him back.
Yeah, Dr. Rich is saying right now that I can message the questions.
Okay,
Okay, we can give that a try.
we'll
Yes,
give it a
yes, I'm
go.
here.
Let's see.
Um,
Okay, I'll bring him back.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Rich is saying right now that I can message the questions.
Okay.
We can give that a try. We'll give it a
Yeah,
go. Let's see.
yeah, we can give it.
Okay, I'll bring him back. Yeah, Dr. Rich is saying right now that I can message the question.
So one of the things that
By the way, you can ask
really
a lot of questions and I can share it, a lot of these wonderful blessings and answers to all.
okay, so
Yeah,
one
Dr.
of the
Rich is
things
saying
that
right now that I can message. So,
really
one of the things that
really struck me also was when you said that in one of our conversations that you can find the Trinity in Filipino folklore, that the Father,
Regarding
the
the
Son, and the
Trinity
Spirit.
of folklore, uh, you want me to answer that? Just say yes if you want. Okay. Regarding the Trinity folklore of the Filipinos, according to the studies, first we have the record from Antonio Pigapetta when he asked those native called the Ophirians, or before known as the people of Mactan, or this known as the Indians. They asked them who they worship. Are you pagans? Are you Moros? They answered, no, they are not. But they worship Abba. They called the god known as Abba. And to my surprise, the Abba is the term for Heavenly Father in Hebrew. And Abba, because he is the father, and he therefore has a son. And his son is known as Ben Yah. In Hebrew, Ben meaning son, Yah is God, Ben Yah. And to the evolution of words, it turns out to be Habenya, the son of Yah, the son of God. And Habenya, through some studies, also evolved from different languages known as Kabenya, through Kabunya. And it turns out to, when they put a final nun to the end, it turns out to be Kabunyan. So Kabunyan is the son of Abba. And another is there is what they call the uh, another it known as the Visayan Trinity or the Filipino Trinity. They have this known as the Sarimanok or the spiritual firebird. It's not actually a chicken, but it's more than a chicken, a big bird that he engulfed the universe. It's a spiritual realm known as the Tigmamanokan, or they call that the spirit. They call that the spirit, or Holy Spirit. They call that the ruwak or karurwak, or what they call that the haruruwak, but it turns out to be karurwak when they call that the spirit in Ilocano. And these three are this they worship these three. They worship Abba, who is the father, and he has a son known as Habunyan. And the lastly, we have this spirit. And the spirit, this Egyptian, no, this Visayan Trinity is uh, known long before the Spanish came. We have this religion known as the what they call the Lecchos religion, because they're the place known as the Lecchos. So they worship the tree. Anito, the word Anito meaning he is the spirit that became a man, and the main Anito, the spirit of Abba, who become a son, so Habenya is known as the Anito. Do you remember what I told you earlier that the word D and R in Hebrew and Filipino are allophones? There are only two countries that have these allophones. So that's why the word Ruwa in Hebrew is also known as Duwa. Duwa, or it turns out to be Diwa. So Diwa is the soul or the spirit. We call that Ruwa or Diwa. So that's why we have this the Trinity folklore, or the three deity that they worship long before.
So I'm just asking right now if there's a
Okay,
connection
about the Ra
between
in Hebrew.
Ra in
Yeah.
Hebrew and the Da in like Datu.
So you're talking about the word Ra. The word Ra in Hebrew and both in Baybayin came from the word the back of the head. This is still known as the Ra. Ra, or it means also highest. So when you say about Ra, it denotes about highest or hierarchy. So when you say Hara or Hari, it's known as one of the highest. Therefore, the word it turns out to be the word D. That's why it becomes allophone. D and Ra is allophone because when you inscribe the word Ra in Hebrew, it goes like this. It's like an curve going down. It's like a question mark without a period below. But because they are writing in stones, it's hard for them to write the curvature, so they turn to write it like this way. Instead of going like this, they try to write it like that. It's like known as like a square without the side part of side here. That is turns to letter D or da. That's why they become allophones, meaning to say they are mistaken to have those meanings. It can be now dara or rara or marami or dami. That's why the connection of ra in Hebrew and Baybayin are the same. They come from the back of the head or instead the head itself.
So I'm asking, how has your faith played into this journey of yours studying these subjects?
How has your faith played into this journey of your studying? Honestly, I want to share this to you how I come up with this wonderful revelation. It was 1998 when that was May 1998. I am with my mom in Bagong Silang, Caloocan City when I am having my own fasting and praying that what is my purpose in this planet? I keep asking God, what is my purpose in this planet? And as I lay down in my bed, I saw the Bible that was given to me in Pamantasan Lungsod ng Manila, the Green Bible. And I tried to open that. And accidentally, I opened that in 1 Kings 10:29, when it's talk about the place known as Ophir. And suddenly, I heard the voice coming at the back of my head saying that Philippines is Ophir. What? So I was shocked and I closed it again. And the other day, I tried to lay down on my bed again before I sleep. I took the Bible again and opened that again, and it goes this the same page in the First Kings again, 10:29. And I heard the voice again. It's Philippines, and I tried to close it. I tried to close that and not to talk it anymore. Then every time I open that Bible, it goes to the same verse again. You know what I did? I tried to close the Bible and turn it like that. And I close my eyes and then I open it. And when I open it, it goes again the same verse. Now, I found out that is there a message for me regarding this that the Philippines is the biblical Ophir? So that's how I started until a full revelation comes in, and that was 1998. I was just only eight. Maybe that was I'm only 16 by the time. I'm talking about that the Philippines, the biblical Ophir, and it turns out to be right. It turns out to be not only scholarly and politically, but it's only biblically true that the Philippines is the biblical Ophir. Yeah, I've been to the different places because I'm a medical doctor also, and I've been invited also to speak about as well as I'm a pastor. I'm a pastor of the Peace of Christ Church before, now known as the World First Superior Church. Uh, when I travel to the different countries, I discovered I usually go to their museums. Like example, in I've been to Thailand, and I studied there. There's a lot of these historical books that mentioning about the Philippines before, and I've learned that the old name of the Philippines is truly Ophir, and I was shocked. And now I gathered all the information, traveling from different countries, going to the different known as the virtual libraries. I gathered a lot of documentary evidence that the Philippines is truly the biblical Ophir. We have a lot of example, as mentioned earlier about the royal cedula of Cobot, Sebastian Goboto. When the king instructed him to go to Ophir, to go back to Ophir and to continue the expedition of Magellan, and all of the sudden they are talking about the location of this Ophir. It's the place where Magellan came. So therefore, they're talking about Philippines. That's why. So these are being narrated in my second book. It's being narratively being recorded in my second book, The Philippines, the Biblical Offer. But my first book regarding about the biblical offer is the location of biblical offer in Genesis 10:30. It's being written there that the Ophir lives in the eastern border of Shem's territory, and that eastern border is known as Kidem, and Kidem is now the modern day location of the Philippines. So you can read here in my book. Yeah. Any more questions? Yes, actually, they are talking about that how I can use this for salvation. About what is the connection of Jesus Christ to Ophir itself. You know, if you will have, if the soon the Amazon will receive the book 12, the book 12 of my first book, the book 12. This is the first book, and I have the last book. But if you want, I've been talking about that. You can see even the face of Jesus Christ in the Philippines. Actually, what's the meaning of Ophir? Ophir is in Hebrew. It's written as APR. It turns out to be Aleph or God. Pe, mouth. R is resh. Meaning, in the mouth of God, there is the resh or the highest one. When you talk about that,
Amazing. The
Ophir
word of
means
God.
in the mouth you can find the highest. If I can show it to you the face of waters that you can see it in even the Google Earth, you will see that the mouth, inside the mouth of the big face of waters, you can see the face of Jesus Christ. It's known as the Ophir, meaning to say that the salvation of the word which is the word in Genesis in John 1:1, in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was with God. So where does the word came from? It came from the mouth.
Wow.
That's why the APR meaning the word become flesh and dwell among us. That is the relation of Jesus Christ to Ophir. The meaning of Ophir is not location. It's not religion. Is not what we call just a mythical place. Ophir means the realization that the highest, the R, which is in the mouth, which is the word, is the one who will bring salvation. That's the meaning of Ophir. And I can show it to you, even in evidence, I can show it to you in even in Google Earth if you want to. But it's more detailed in my book 12. But you need to first know what is the etymological and who is Ophir, by the way. It's written here in my first book.
Yeah, guys. So as I was saying, just so much, such a wealth of knowledge, and there's relevance to it as well. I mean, this is not just some stuff for believers anyway. This is not
Some more
just stuff
question, please.
that is totally unrelated, but this is stuff that is very practical. Practical. I'm writing this out to Doc as I speak.
Well, actually, a lot of people want to ask me to see those pictures. Don't worry. I thought that that was a year ago. I have this Facebook Live and I showed that picture, the face of Jesus Christ in the Philippines. And it's known as the face of waters. There are three faces there. But unfortunately, I don't know what happened. It's being out of the scene right now. Well, I'm really blessed because I can show that even in my book. Here's my book, The Garden of Eden is in the Philippines. It's also, you can see the face also here. If you can go to Google, you can see also the face right here. It's in the back of my book, The Garden of Eden is in Philippines. You know, the Garden of Eden is not in the Middle East. It's in the vicinity and near the economic zone of the Philippines. It's located near in the Philippines in the Pacific Ocean. Okay, it's known as the Dragon's Triangle. It's better if you know about this.
Yeah, so guys, we're gonna wrap up right now because we've hit the 1 hour mark. but we will definitely have Dr. Rich back. We'll definitely have him back on. We'll have our technical glitches sorted, and we're gonna have another banger of a stream. I think that even with the technical glitches, there was still a lot of really amazing information that he was able to share. And so, thank you guys for sticking around and for sticking with it through all the tech stuff. We really appreciate that. Um, Let me just type this out, Dr. Rich. Thank you so much. Dr. Rich, yeah, thank you so very much for joining us. We will have you on again uh, next week if possible, if you can make it. Let's see what he responds. And we'll have our tech issues sorted. Any last words that you'd like to share to close us off? Please go ahead.
Blessed Shabbat to all my Filipino kababayan and to the United States of America. Blessed Thanksgiving to all. Truly, it's an honor to be able to share to you about that the Philippines is not actually not only not only the biblical Ophir, but also the mother of all nations. Philippines is known for its wealth. It's known for historical significance, not only in the Bible but also in the history and archaeology. That's why in my book, the first book, The Philippines, the Biblical Ophir, Part 1, I talk about who is Ophir. In the book of Antiquities of Philo, Ophir, he is the most pious person in the clan of Choctan, and he's also one of the most trusted and a worshiper of God. If you will read the historical book analysis of the Antiquities of Philo, Ophir is one of the men who did not join in the building and the construction of the Tower of Babel, and he is the best person that they gave him the land of the old known as the APR, or the land where the man is created. Adam was created in the islands of, or known as the archipelago known as the Ophir, or the eastern border. Ophir is no, the meaning of Ophir in Hebrew, we'll study the Hebrew hermeneutical analysis, meaning he is a double portion of anointing. He is a faithful man, and he is a man with a lot of blessing, meaning his name means blessing, meaning he is the most blessed. And after the destruction of the Tower of Babel, Ophir went to Kidem, or the eastern border of the territory, which is written in Genesis 10:30. And with him, his brother known as Sheba. Sheba, which means she, meaning the teeth, and Ba, the teeth house, because it's a part of the face in the face of waters. Sheba means the whole island of Visayas. It's not Cebu, but the whole island of Visayas. And Sheba is the brother of Ophir. And with them, we have the Hawaii, yeah, meaning he they given him the place known as the islands of Hawaii. We have also Yobab. Yobab meaning Eobab, or meaning it becomes turned out to be Java. So these are the words of these brothers. They went to the eastern border of Shem's territory in the islands of the South East Asia. If you want to read more about the evidence of that, you can read the book of Samuel Furcas. And you can also read the book, the map known as there's a map known as the genealogy of Adam, where this map shows about the distribution of Shem, Ham, and Japhet, wherein Shem was given him in the book of Jubilees the place known as the place near the Garden of Eden, which is the eastern border, or the Kedem in Hebrew, and where you can find there the best island or the best archipelago known as the Philippines. Actually, because of its blessing, the Philippines become the world center of the most biodiverse in the whole world. More than 80% of the animal and plant biodiversity is found only in Ophir, known as Philippines. That's why there is what we call the endemicity, one evidence that the Philippines is the biblical Ophir, because it's where you can find the most endemic plants and animals, including what they call the aloes. The aloes in Psalms 45:8 is used for a perfume that came from only in Ophir in Psalms 45 verse 9. And aloes is specifically found in Ophir. It's being endemic in that place. Not only the 23 karat guard of gold, but also there are a lot of evidence where you can find here in my book, in the first one, the biblical evidences, the hermeneutical etymology, the Hebrew etymology, and a lot more about where is about this Ophir based from the location as being mentioned by the Bible. So the book two is all about the historical. There are three books in book two. The book three, another three books in that book three. It's all about now the archaeological evidence, and we have the final book will be about the confirmational evidence, where you can find the face of waters. You can also find in the Google Earth about the face of Jesus Christ in the whole planet Earth, and even the three faces, the Father, Son, and the faces of the Holy Spirit. They keep on telling me that it's only a pareidolia, but it's not pareidolia because the 17 plastic letters came from that face, and that face is biblical. It's written in Job 26 10. And that face is being mentioned in the book of the Papyrus Harris, where Senetmut, the Egyptian name of Moses, he went to Ophir. There are also disciples. There are about two disciples who went to Ophir, and that will be also in my books. You can read that also in my books. But you need to first why Philippines is the biblical Ophir in my first book. It's this one is available at Amazon. It's read for free in the whole world, and it's better you have you can read that in ebook, or you better have a copy. The Philippines, the biblical Ophir. And mind you, it's not because that the Philippines is Ophir, uh, you are being being elated or being honored, but it's because it is a God's purpose. You know that sometimes Filipino think that you are so small, you are not in that important, but the truth is Noah, who saved the whole humanity, came from Ophir. So be proud that you are an Ophirian. Be proud because it is God who lead us here in this place. And with that, I would like to thank you all. It's now Thanksgiving in the United States. Marami pong salamat sa inyo, sa inyong pakikinig. And I pray that someday we will come to know the truth, and the truth will set us all free. More blessings to all. Mabuhay ang bansang Ophir. Mabuhay po tayong lahat. And I pray that Jesus Christ will gonna change your life. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. And I was just about to ask Dr. Rich to end us in a prayer, and that's just what he did. So, um, thank you again very, very much, Dr. Rich, for being with us this evening. We're going to do this again, and we're going to do it right. I know that you can't, he can't hear me right now. So I'm, he'll probably, well, he'll hear it in the recorded video, but it was an absolute pleasure and an absolute privilege to have him on. And we're definitely going to be doing a round two of this. And this is the kind of podcast that I think can last probably 2 hours, or like a Joe Rogan 3 hour conversation kind of thing. uh, so yeah, some comments here about still needing to be convinced, and we'll definitely have a presentation for you next time around with slides and a lot more in depth, uh a lot more in-depth stuff, like what I've seen. So I'm unable to share everything right now, given the short amount of time that I've had to look into things. But believe me, I've become more and more convinced. So um thank you so much, Dr. Rich. Thank you very, very much. um God bless you, and God bless everybody else who's listening. We shall see you all again soon. Take care, you guys. God